5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. That's gonna fuck up the audio. So, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second segment of our Kanye West journey. We're going to talk about the sad boy era now, starting with 808s and heartbreaks, leading on to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, then not so sad boy, but Watch the Throne, and then finally YEEZUS. So to start off with Watch the Throne, not Watch the Throne, what am I about? 808s. 808s,
yeah.
This, I said in the last segment, I was going to stop this because I said that T-Pain was ushering in a new sound of autotune and hip-hop. And then I said, no, I'm not going to say that because this album did that. 808s and Heartbreak said that.
Yeah.
So much sound in hip-hop now in 2020 stems from 808 and Heartbreaks. And rappers nowadays, because they're new school, when they think, oh, my influences are Young Thug and Future, their influences were Kanye West and 808s and Drake. 808s. So like all the new school that are influenced by the sound that came after 808s, that was it. There was no hip hop before then. That was almost the start of mumble rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
you wouldn't have your Lil Uzi Verts and your Playboy Cartis without 808s.
Yeah, the sad boy rappers that basically sing on a track with an auto-tune and heavy 808s and bass lines, and this was the start of it. It really was. Like, I can't think. Bear in mind, I've listened to so many hip hop albums in my life. I can't think of one that came before it that was like this. To the point where it's almost not a hip hop album. At the time, people were saying this isn't hip hop. This is R&B. Like,
yeah,
so, I don't even know if it's R&B, mate. To be honest with you, it's like weird Bon Iver music, nearly.
Yeah. So, for me, this is my top 3 Kanye albums. Personally, I absolutely love this.
This is my number 2.
Yeah, so it's a bit shorter than the other albums. This is, but again, just incredible. Like, because it was like, I don't know what it was. This the first album after his mum died, after Donda died. Donda died 2007. No,
2007. Yeah, I think this was the first album.
2008, 2000-ish, 2008, 2009-ish. So like, he must have been a very dark place making it. So yeah, and again, we're going to do favorites and sleepers for this album because, again, some massive tunes blew up from this, like Love Lockdown and Amazing, and yeah. But for me, my favorite is also my sleeper, which is RoboCop,
which is my sleeper as well.
Yeah, and Luke was shocked to see that it's our sleepers. But for me, again, because this album is so sad boy, if you listen to it when you're in a dark place, you can grow very attached to certain songs. So I used to listen to RoboCop a lot when I was in a darker place, which makes it my favorite on the album. But also, so many people just don't like that song. So I love it. I think. I think. Please open up. Yeah, I think that, like, you know, I think for me it's just so uplifting, the hook on it, and yeah, it's incredible. But I'm not mad when people say they don't like it because I've just got a personal attachment to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, this is when he really started using the Roland TS-808, and this ushered away from his sampling stage and more into his just crazy, just awesome beat stage. And yeah, so the album starts off with Say You Will, which has recently, or not recently, but like 10 years ago, it got reused by Drake on Thank Me Later, I want to say. Dope ass remix. And yeah, and also this is the first time we really see Cudi and Kanye work together.
Yeah.
And oh man, they are so good together. They're so good together.
I agree. Yeah.
Mate, they're the Messi and Neymar of hip hop. So when they team up, but yeah. So yeah, so Welcome to Heartbreak as well was a very close second for me. I love that because it's obviously just got Kidham and Cudi on it. I absolutely adore that tune. So yeah, I'll let you two, because obviously there's less tracks, so there's more things for us to cover. So I don't want to cover them all. So, Fo, favorite sleeper?
So my sleeper is RoboCop. We talked about this before, but I like it for the same reasons, but also different reasons. I do have attachment to RoboCop. I understand why people don't like it, but my attachment to it is very different. My attachment to it is, why did you have to become a RoboCop? why did you have to be a RoboCop? I see that as sort of like a controllingness that he sort of escapes, and that's something I can relate to a lot more than what Mike's interpreted it as, and that's what makes this album incredible. Is like you can have experienced different forms of the same song and get attached to it from the same reasons through different experiences.
Yeah,
and like
it could be because it's Sad Boy. You can pick up on one part of the song. So like,
for
me, I'd pick up on the part where he's like saying, "You ain't never gonna stop me now," and all this kind of stuff. It's like very uplifting. Whereas you were saying about how it's a different part of the song which you get attached to.
For me, it was the downs of the song which I really grew fond of.
Yeah.
Whereas like for Mike's, it was like the ups.
Yeah.
But for me, my favorite song on the album, and one of my favorite Kanye songs of all time, is "Paranoid."
Cool song.
Mr. Hudson.
Yeah, Mr. Hudson's on it, and it's just
Don't
know what happened to Mr. Hudson.
I feel no one knows. He's gone.
No. One sec. Yeah. Can you hear my sister's TV above me in your headphones? Because it's coming up as a flash. No, okay, don't worry.
Really, no.
I can hear her over my headphones. She's listening to like some old lady.
Tell us what
yeah. Okay, sorry.
Sorry to any listeners that can experience that. We aren't very professional. We are just mates having a conversation. But we are the most raw and authentic podcast on YouTube. It's uncut, unedited, because I don't know how to. So I don't
know where we were. Sorry.
We're talking about Mr. Hudson. He made a tune with Jay-Z and Kanye, and then N-Dubs, and then died.
But yeah, this is just like I started liking it when I started listening to Kanye first, because this was the latest album when I just started listening to Kanye, because I listened to that. I said that my first experience listening to Kanye West was Gold Digger, and then obviously the American Idol cover of Heartless. So then I asked my cousins, like, who actually sang this to start off with. Whacked this on, like, I was 10 years old. 10-year-old me was just grooving about to this.
We were doing about 11. It's about year 6 in primary school for us.
Yeah.
Going into secondary. I don't know what the schooling system's like in Pakistan, but yeah, it was like things like Heartless were being played at like
definitely
being played at like school discos.
Yeah, school discos.
Disco. Oh yeah.
Also, just for a massive segue, I notice this in every single podcast. This is a normal Pepsi can, right? It's just my hand is really big. Right? This is why my name is Mitz. Right? Honestly, this is a normal size 330. I notice every time I go on the podcast. Every single time it looks tiny. Like I'm looking at one of the fucking mixer cans. Bro, this is a normal size can and I hate it. It makes me look like I've got some monstrous hands.
You do have monstrous hands, mate. Just embrace it.
Well, honestly, that's a whole can. A whole ass can.
Wow.
That's it. That's a Kanye West level skit.
Check out what my hands looking like.
So yeah, sorry. That was, I just noticed it every time. I had to bring it up. I'm not drinking these mini cans of Pepsi. I'm really not. This is a normal size. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I had to say it. It's on my mind every single time I see me drink it, and I'm like, oh. Yeah. So yeah, where were we? Sorry. Mr. Hudson. Yeah,
Paranoid, Mr. Hudson, absolute banger.
Yeah.
Luke,
Oh yeah. I like the songs that sound like normal Kanye songs. So
right, yeah.
I've got Love Lockdown. It's my
loving you where I wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big song.
I do.
Yeah. The bass thing, the drum.
Yeah. Do. It's the 808. That's when you really notice it. And like if you play it in your car and it's a bit too loud, it's gonna stop.
Your car starts
vibrating.
It's where your speaker starts to crackle. And you're looking in your rearview mirror and it's vibrating. And yeah. That like Amazing is another one, which is a lot more Kanye sound with Yeezy.
Yeah, that's some of my shout outs. The Jeezy feature is sick.
Yeah. Oh, amazing! Oh,
Yes.
gotta get it in. Yeah, yeah, and then obviously Heartless as well. So, what's your sleeper, Luke?
Sleeper was Coldest Winter, which
This doesn't sound like a Kanye tune, though. This is what
I
surprised
don't
me.
know. I don't know. I just think it's a really
I'd say
good
this
song,
is almost singing.
you know.
This song is almost singing.
He is nearly singing. I don't mind a bit of Kanye singing. I can't lie, but just
That's
the
Queen.
That's great.
Queen on main stage at Glastonbury, butchering fucking Bohemian Rhapsody.
Actually, yeah, it's just a good tune, man. I
It
think
is.
slaps.
Yeah.
And it kind of
Rounds out the album.
it rounds out the album,
Yeah.
and you can kind of see the inspiration that other people are taking from that as well.
Yeah.
And wasn't there like a Coldest Winter 2 kind of fake leak or something?
Maybe.
So,
yeah. But yeah, I obviously that yeah. So after this as well, I don't know how I can't remember, but I think they went into, was it Cruel Winter, which was the Good Music
like
one, the Good Music album, which had like new God flow. Really, is it Cruel Winter? Cruel Winter. Yeah, Kanye West presents Cruel Good Music.
Oh
Cruel
yeah.
Cruel Summer, sorry, Cruel Summer, not Cruel Winter.
That's it. That's one. Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. Or maybe I'm just talking shit, but for some reason that song reminded me of that. But maybe it's just Anyway, oh, that's why, because there was going to be a Cruel Winter, because there was a Cruel Summer, and then he was going to bring out a Cruel Winter.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So yeah, we're not going to talk about Cruel Summer because that's a Good Music collective. And Kanye did feature on it, but it wasn't like you wouldn't say it's a Kanye album. You say it's a bit like when you listen to the Dreamville albums, you wouldn't say it's a J. Cole album. So yeah, 808 for me, the most impactful album in hip hop history. I'm not going to say like it's the best or anything like that, but I'm going to say every single hip hop album that's been sounded so similar until that one came, and then it started a new wave of hip hop. I don't think anyone could have done it but him. I don't want to see maybe Lil Wayne, but even then, Lil Wayne sounded a bit different then. But yeah, so 808s, and then he moved on to, from there, I'm assuming we're done with 808s now. Yeah. He moved on to, from there. For me, for so many years, I held this as the greatest hip hop album of all time.
Can we just say we are recording this on this album's 10-year anniversary?
I was about to say that.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to my boy. Happy birthday to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
So for so many years, this was my favorite album of all time. And I got to say as well, for the last 5 years of the Spotify rap thing they do, Kanye's been my most played out artist every single year. And my favorite song on this album, which I'll go into right now, has been my most played song pretty much, which is Devil in a New Dress.
He's got a Kanye tattoo across his chest there as well.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, I've got
big fan.
Yeah, I've got Kanye there, Kanye's face, and then I've got the teddy bear there.
Yeah.
And then on my arm, this is what you can't see it though. I'm not going to take my shirt off. You'll never see it ever. There I've got the My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy thing,
the blurry image.
Yeah. Also, and then both Kanye West and the Bear are actually just taking a piss on Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Oh, Amber Rose's face is crossed out. Kim Kardashian's face is superimposed.
So yeah. No, it's just like Amber Rose's face has been turned into Kim Kardashian's.
Yeah. So this album starts off with a little bit of a Nicki Minaj feature when she does her shit English accent. Fuck you, Nicki Minaj. You're trash. But even though you have one of the greatest features of all time on this album, but you are a trash human being. So starts off with Can We Get Much Higher? I can't remember the album name. I'm going to track listing up. And then
is it Dark Fantasy.
And then it goes into if it wasn't for Devil in a New Dress, what would be my favorite song on the album, Gorgeous.
Yeah.
because I love what he does with the fuzzed vocals, and he makes the fuzz vocals sound so clean. It's very weird how you do that. I've tried it, can't do it. And yeah, but my favorite on this album is Devil in a New Dress. Fucking most beautiful instrumental I've ever heard in my entire life. It's just you could listen to that by itself on repeat. And then literally like Kanye kills it, and then Rick Ross, one of the best verses I've ever heard from Rick Ross.
Oh yeah.
Just that song means the world.
I know he's
so
not
mad.
I know he's not the topic of discussion right now, but people need to put more respect on Rick Ross's name.
Rick Ross features as well.
Maybe we'll do that on a future podcast on the most underrated rappers, people that don't put respect on people's names.
Yeah.
In the future, maybe we'll do that when we think about it. But yeah, and then my sleeper is Hell of a Life.
Yes, nice.
Love the guitars in it, and I think it's just a dope sound. Pussy and religion is all I need.
I've got that written down. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just a really dope. It's just a really good song, but obviously it gets again overlooked by the songs like All of the Lights, Power, Devil in
the club bangers. The club bangers.
Yeah. Did any of us pick the big ones?
No.
All of the Lights.
Nah. Don't think so.
But one thing we do need to say though is that All of the Lights interlude, which goes into All of the Lights, is that's the only thing. Only Kanye would do that. Make an interlude with the instrumental.
Yeah.
To then go into the instrumental. Just like, bro, just put it at the start or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a good interlude.
Obviously, Runaway is another one that people look up. And then the last thing I want to say on this album is the skit at the end of Blame Game with Chris Rock. I got me and my good friend Hazel used to listen to it in our French class over and over, and just we didn't even listen to the song, just the skit. We'd skip to the skit and listen to it, and it's like damn, I'm in parts of pussy in your pussy that I've never been before. I'm in a whole new level of Pussyville. And it's like I'm a fan Yeezy, I'm a download this album, I'm a shooter bootlegger. It's honestly anyone who hasn't heard it has to go listen to that skit. It's a classic. It's just Chris Rock is one of the funniest comedians ever, and he's just so funny in that. And it's all just a big shot at Amber Rose as well. So yeah.
So, can I just say, Chris Rock, I recently listened to the new Bust album where Chris Rock makes a few appearances as well. It might just be me, but every time Chris Rock does a skit, I just imagine Marty from Madagascar talking to me.
I think about grown-ups. I think about grown-ups and Chris Rock.
That's worse, man. Yeah. That's worse.
Yeah.
His stand-up is good. We just haven't gone back and listened to enough of it.
So also, originally this podcast was going to be called Top 5, and the reason why I thought about it is because of a Chris Rock movie called Top 5, where they ask everyone their top 5. It's like one of the recurring theme throughout the film, and it's called Top 5. If anyone wants to go watch it. So yeah, a little bit of story behind the podcast. Yeah, like Chris Rock's funny as fuck, man, and I mean, to go on a segue a bit about Chris Rock is when we saw that video. I don't know if anyone saw it on Twitter when he's talking about how his mother used to get her teeth pulled at
a dentist. Vets.
At the vet, so we let her into the dentist. So yeah, just a reminder that the world's still fucked, and it wasn't.
Yeah, that's what they don't show in civil rights movies.
Yeah,
that was the point.
So if anyone wants to go watch that thing about Chris Rock. That was just a segue, but it's a bit of education on people. Didn't want to go too dark, but I just shout, people need to go watch that clip of Chris Rock because it's deep, man. It's deep.
100%.
So yeah, you two. Who did I ask last time? So
can't remember me. Okay,
Luke,
Runaway is my favorite.
Yep.
Okay, I'm doing favorite first.
Yeah,
Runaway is my favorite.
Yep.
I can just remember watching the whole film to do with it, taking in the whole experience.
Yep.
It's just so crazily shot. I want to know who did all that, directing and
Yeah,
wrote the whole story. I don't know whether it's just him or not.
That one up, but
yeah, but the whole thing is crazy. And then the video where it's like the ballet dancers, the whole package is just a crazy like artistic experience. I'd say. Pusha T kills it on that as well.
Yeah,
the beat brings it's like one of those sad boy songs for me.
It was directed by Kanye West.
Yeah. So kind of makes sense. It is all over the shop and kind of crazy. But yeah.
And also the fact that like he's on there and he's talking about how he sent a picture of his dick in the mail and God knows what. Yeah, fair enough, mate. Like again, it's one of them things, right? If you were to speak the lyrics to that song, you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. True. Yeah. But if I'm looking out the window on a rainy day and the piano comes on, it's like,
oh yeah, that one note.
Also, I love the sample where it's like, who got you?
Oh yeah, that's it. I can't remember who did that. I think that's I think that might be Jill Scott Heron, but I could be lying. I might look it up whilst Fo's talking. But my sleeper is Hell of a Life.
Yep.
For the same reasons Mike said, the guitar is slam it.
I think it's Bon Jovi that features, isn't it? So
Bon
Iver.
John Bon Jovi.
Oh no, wait. No. That's Lost in the World. Bon Iver's on. So Hell of a Life.
Yeah. I've got Lost in the World is my other sleeper because the build up to that is the build up throughout that song, and then the like crescendo.
It's weird because it's at the end of the album as well, though. That's the thing that I think a lot of people sleep on it because it's so long to build up at the end of the album. People just skip through it and they think, "Oh, fuck this."
And especially the end. It's only the end song that gets kind of lively.
Yeah.
It's just very big celebration and very.
And we'll talk about songs with big build-ups on the next album when we get there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we all have it, or me and Phil have it as our sleeper on it. But yeah, Phil, fave and sleeper.
So my favorite is Monster. We're not going to talk about Nicki Minaj as a person because of obvious reasons, but she comes in with the hardest verse from a female rapper in history.
No. Let's not do that.
We don't
one of the hardest rappers hardest verse of any rapper, not just because she's
any rapper. Yeah, fair.
It's like the Kendrick Control verse, the way it just takes it. Well, it doesn't really take over the song, but it's just
the fact that
I'd say it does.
The fact that verse is one of the best verses of all time, and it still doesn't wipe the floor with any of the verses that come on before or after it. Just shows that the standard of that track.
Oh yeah,
is just top tier because you have the distortion in the production, where it's like I'm a motherfucking monster, and it's all just like torn to shreds and like sort of pieced back together. Is sort of how I imagine it.
And also, one of my favorite lines again is, "Have you ever had sex with a pharaoh? I put that pussy in a esophagus. I bruised her esophagus." So that's just Kanye at his best.
Who else is on that? Is it Rick Ross?
Rick Ross,
Jay-Z, Pusha.
Jay. Okay.
Pusha and Bon Iver's on it as well.
I
don't think Pusha's on it.
No, Pusha isn't on it. Pusha's on So Appalled.
But So Appalled is my sleeper.
Yeah.
Right next to each other in the track listing. I just love how it starts off with the heavy beat,
One
and
hand
then
in the air, if you don't really care. But here's your hot take. This is the hot take because I don't think it's a sleeper. I think everyone recognizes it as a banger.
It is a banger, but it's like I said at the start of the segment before. For me, a sleeper might just be one that I see getting a bit too much heat on the timeline. Okay. I see getting disrespected a bit on the timeline. It's like, no, this is up there. And just as soon as the song starts, as soon as her hands in the air, then Kanye West comes in. Is like, I'm so appalled, Spalding Ball, balding Donald Trump taking dollars from y'all.
Wow.
And also, when I think Jay shouts out Kanye, Luke's favorite song from Late Registration, when he's like, "Yeah, he already told me we made you cockroaches, fiery Tesserosas," and bro, it's just got so many quotables on the album. And I'm trying to find
definitely
the Pusher one so I don't get it wrong. Where is it? I want to make sure that we don't get this. I don't want to get it wrong. He's talking about.
Yeah. Can I just say, so appalled, stacked. You got Kanye, you got Jay, you got Pusher, you got Sci-Hi the Prince, you got Swizz Beatz, and you got RZA.
Oh, Swizz Beatz, man. Shout out Swizz Beatz.
500,000 20s like a billion where I'm from. An arrogant drug dealer, the legend I become. CNN said I'll be dead by 21. Pusha T. And this is the thing about Pusha T, right? Is he gives I don't really care whether he was a big drug dealer or not. When he says it, you believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's one of them people. And also shout out Sci-Hi, man, the greatest ghostwriter of all time.
Yeah.
Like he is the greatest ghostwriter. He was signed to Good Music for so long to just do a few few features and mainly write Kanye's albums. Like his debut album came out in 2018, No Church on Sundays. And that was his debut. And bear in mind, this album's 2010.
No Dope on Sundays, mate.
Yeah.
No, wait, no, I thought it's No Church on Sundays.
No Dope on Sundays.
Who cares? Anyway, yeah. So he Sci-Hi deserves a massive shout out because he's such a good rapper that if he wasn't signed to Kanye, he may have blew up in his own right, but he got paid right. Who cares? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's favorites and sleepers. Monster we spoke about, again, classic. From start to finish, what we were talking about the whole time was sequencing on this album. Perfect. We had this discussion. I remember a couple of years ago, we were in the car going to Glasgow. It was me, Fraser, Dylan, and Shiv. We were going to play American football, and someone put on All of the Lights just out the blue, and I said, I fucking hate this song when it's played by itself. And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, this song has to be played in the album for it to sound right. Like, it has to be played in that sequence. If I hear it by itself, I hate it. I have to listen to this album start to finish. I can't just like jump in the middle of the album. I have to listen to it all. And that's just my hot take on it.
I really like that song. I think I used to listen to it religiously by itself. So
for me, whenever I would listen to this album, I would listen to the album, All the Lights would finish, and I'd go back and re-listen to All the Lights 2 or 3 times before continuing the album.
Yeah. We haven't even talked about Power. Why haven't we talked about Power? That's why probably, because you can't really say it's too powerful. It's too powerful.
I've just got going in the background, and I just want to clap to it, and then the hey.
I'm just butchering this.
I can't sing. I can't sing.
I would say this is Kanye's best ever production. Power.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It was just flexing all over that track.
Mm-hmm.
Just, and then just the whole. You don't have words for it. You don't have words for it.
It does things. It just does. It's like Paris in the next album.
Yeah. It
just does things, mate.
Yeah. Ham has another one on the next album, but I think those 2 albums in particular are just amazing. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is one of the greatest albums of all time, and it's really received its like critical praise as well. It's not just like our opinions. It's every music critic apart from Anthony Fantano rates it so highly, but that's just because Fantano's a wanker and likes to be controversial. Let's be honest. Like, you know, Fantano really ranks it at a 10, but he'll say, it's a strong 6. But no, Fantano, we know you like.
We know you love it.
We know you like it. We're adding Fantano to the list of people Mrs. dissing at the minute.
You got Alex Bowler, like Chris Martin, Fantano, Nicki Minaj.
Who
else wants to smoke, motherfucker?
We'll have to go through the episodes and just add one Add one every
Have
time.
a little list.
So yeah, those two albums are incredible. That's 5 albums we've done so far on Kanye. I think we've got about 5 more to go. Maybe.
Quickly, I want to shout out the last song because it's got like "Who Will Survive in America." It's taken from a Jill Scott Heron kind of. He used to do these like spoken word songs.
Yeah,
He's
a sample on it.
Yeah. And folks, if you want to learn about civil rights in America, like done artistically, I think he's one of the best examples of it. So go check out Jill Scott Heron. He's got a project with Jamie XX as well, which is really sick.
So yeah, shout out that one song. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back to discuss YEEZUS
And
watch some hot takes on that and watch the Fran. Cool. So we'll be back in a second. Right, we're back off our break. And we're gonna jump into Watch the Throne, an album which was off of Spotify for many years because of Jay's dispute with Spotify and Apple being from Tidal. And this album is just so legendary because I used to listen to it on repeat. I remember one year I got an iPhone for Christmas or as an iPod Touch or one of them. And I remember I used to stay up all night listening to 2K and I'd have 3 albums on there. One was Good Kid, Mad City. The other was Watch the Throne. And then the other one was an album by Blizzard, an old school Manchester rapper. Shout out Blizzard. but I don't know why I had done it, but I used to listen to it on repeat. And like it got to the point when Watch the Throne dropped back on Spotify. I listened to it and I still knew every single word and I hadn't heard it in years. And it was just, it's just an absolute classic. So we're going to get into this. And there's a lot to dissect in this one because it is a massive classic album. But for me, I put down my favorite as Murder to Excellence because I love what they talk about in it and the transition in it. So obviously they talk about, Jay-Z talks about obviously being from the hood, and if you put crabs in a barrel to ensure your survival, you're going to end up killing dumb that look just like you. And Kanye does the most incredible stat comparison on any hip hop tune I've ever heard when he says it's like 314 soldiers died in Iraq, 509 died in Chicago.
Yeah,
and it's like, whoa, like you realize how many people are actually dying in Chicago in the hood. And then it obviously goes into Black excellence, and it talks about how it literally go from murder to excellence, and it transitions away from obviously the negativity that can be in the Black community in America towards the more positive stuff. And obviously they're both examples of Black excellence. So yeah, for me that's my favorite on the album. Obviously I'm going to leave this one a little bit more open. I'm not going to talk about all these shout outs and whatever. I'm going to leave this one a little more open for us to talk to because it's just such a good album. I want to do it all together rather than me just monologuing it. And then my super is Illest Motherfucker Alive. And the reason I said that is, and it's Foes as well, is because the reason it gets slept on so much is because there's a 3-minute start where it's just blank at the start. And the reason they did that is because
separate the bonus
deluxe.
tracks.
So they've done that, but people normally when they hear it can't be asked to listen to the 3-minute, but 3-minute thing, so I'll just skip through it. But it's one of the best songs on the album in my opinion. It's just again, it's just bragging, both of them. Just going saying how dope they are. And it's like the bars in it ain't even that good when it's like Russell Brand, Russell Crowe. Like it's like
it's outlandish Kanye rap is what it is, but it's like top tier outlandish Kanye rap.
And the beat on it's crazy. But it's definitely a slept on song because of that massive gap at the start. I think a lot thing is with a lot of this album is a lot of it is slept on as an album in general. I think when it first came out it wasn't slept on, but as time's gone on it is. Songs like Otis, No Church in the Wild, these songs that were massive, now people don't
have sort of died out.
Paris, another one,
Paris is still
maybe
played
still
in
going.
club. Paris
Yeah.
is still a club banger, but I feel like that's the only one of this album that stood the test of time.
Yeah,
And I think that's also because white people love saying the N word and having an excuse to say it. Let's be honest, and they want to, bro. That's not a hot take. That's a freezing cold take.
Not really a hot take.
White people love saying, "Oh, I love this song. It's called In Paris." People love that shit. White people. So So Fawaz, favorite sleeper. Let's go.
My sleeper, same as you, illest motherfucker alive. Just like I said, outlandish Kanye rap, and I love some outlandish Kanye.
Yeah.
Just him doing what no one else on the planet would do in the way that he would do it. And there's not a lot else to say to it. If it didn't have that 3-minute gap at the start, it would be as played as like Otis, No Church in the Wild. Songs that I don't think it would have stood the test of time the way Paris has, because it's not a club banger, but it does have it packs that punch, and it gets you gassed the same way No Church in the Wild and Otis do. But speaking of No Church in the Wild, that's my favorite. Just the guitars that start it off, set off the album, and can you really complain when you've got Jay-Z, Kanye West, Frank Ocean, and The Dream kicking off an album for you?
I think also Frank's lyrics in it,
what's a god to a non-believer?
What's a mob to a king? What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer?
You don't believe in anything,
yeah.
And it's like it's such simple lyrics that you hear being said in like conversations every now and then, and when it's said in conversation, you're just like, oh right, yeah, that's a saying. But when he says it over the instrumentals, when singing it, it just something about it gives it a lot more impact, and that's down to again the production of this album and the way he can make lyrics that wouldn't otherwise stand out, even though they're good lyrics. He gives them the orchestral backing to be groundbreaking.
So I think when Luke says his favorite in the sleeper, I think what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to go. This is the only album we're going to do it on. I'm going to go cover to cover, and we're going to read out the songs because I don't think we can risk leaving one out.
No.
So, so Luke, favorite sleeper.
My favorite is Liftoff. I
Beyonce.
think,
Beyonce. That gets slept on a lot though.
Yeah. I don't even mind that. I want that to be one just for me.
Yeah,
it makes me feel great. It makes me feel fucking amazing. If I was to become heavyweight champion in the world, my walkout song would be Liftoff.
Oh, that's interesting. I've got a Kanye West walkout song as well.
Mine Can't Tell Me Nothing every single time I walk out.
Fair. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. We're going into the next album for mine. So.
But yeah, go on.
But it's just uplifting tune. I don't even know if Jay-Z and Kanye heard the best thing about that song.
No, it's not.
No, it's definitely Beyonce.
It's Beyonce.
It's definitely Beyonce.
It's definitely Beyonce. Okay, well, it's my favorite. So my slept on has got to have it. I think the beat of that is super hard. Just slaps me. Hello, white America, assassinate my character. Yeah.
Holy matrimony. Yeah. So
tell them I just want my racks on racks. Maybachs on backs.
Oh shit. It's just blacks on black. How you get it? Laying racks on tracks. Oh, just it's just dope, right? So
so hard.
Yeah, so we'll go cover to cover for ones that we haven't touched. So obviously No Church in the Wild, we have Liftoff, we have Paris, we've touched on Otis with Otis Redding.
Yeah.
Without this, there would be no Crept and Conan. Well, there would be, but not to the extent they are, because they blew up off their cover of this. Otis is just classic. A great music video. If people haven't seen it.
Oh yeah.
Drifting around with the American flag in the background. It's dope.
I think they sold that car to charity as well.
Yeah, they did.
Shout out charitable deeds.
Yeah. Gotta Have It, which is obviously Luke's sleeper. New Day, where they talk about their kids, and Kanye is talking about how he might make his kids be Republicans, so everyone knows they love white people. This song in particular kind of forecast what Kanye has done. Do you know what I mean? So he's aligned himself with the Republicans, so everyone knows he loves white people and he's got kids. And who knows? Thing is with Kanye is a genius in his own right, and I know his actual own policies would be wrong, but the way he aligns himself with people he doesn't do this stupidly. He doesn't. Do you know what I mean? He like we said with the Trump thing, he did that all as a big stunt, and he's never going to wear a MAGA hat again. He thinks it's stupid. Like he said, he's going to burn them shit. So, so yeah. So New Day, and then obviously Jay has a great verse on that where he's like, "Sorry, Junior, I've already ruined you because you ain't even alive. Paparazzi's pursuing you. Sins of father made your life 10 times." So it's just a really deep, meaningful verse to his future son, even though he had a daughter first. But yeah, and then That's My Bitch. Which is a bit of a weird one because they both have daughters now. So yeah, a bit of a weird one. Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, hard.
Yeah, so hard,
super hard,
so hard, so hard. Who Gonna Stop Me?
That's just missed out. Who Gonna Stop Me? Huh? That's just missed out on my sleeper for me.
Yep. Murder to Excellence, which I said was my favorite on the album.
Yeah, that's great.
Made in America with Frank.
Yep.
Yeah, great tune.
Great tune.
Banging tune.
Fantastic. This is why I'm doing it. This is why I'm going cover to cover because that
was this your guy's first interjection to Frank? Because I think it was mine.
Yeah, it was. I knew about Our Future. No, it wasn't. My first time I ever heard Frank was She with Tyler.
Oh, okay, fair.
I found out about Frank not even way later on, the year later when Channel Orange came out. That was my first exposure to Frank.
Okay.
Yeah, mine was Golden Brothers and these Dylan Parkers on my waist. Yeah. There's a black clock. New dope song. Anyway, we won't get onto that. It's a different time for when we have when we do one about Tyler. But yeah. So yeah, then we got Made in America. So then Why I Love You with Mr. Hudson. Ooh,
shout out Mr. Hudson again with a
yeah.
No, a great song.
Shout out Cassius. That's Cassius sample. And I've realised that it made me listen to Scream when I was like 14. This is that deep techno when I was 14.
So yeah, then This Motherfucker Alive we discussed. Ham, amazing. This is the first single off the album. And I remember listening to this in the year 8 maths class. I'm about to go ham. Motherfucker, know who I am. Yeah. And yeah, just incredible flow on that. Jay-Z's is incredible. His flow is bonkers. Prime Time beats by Dion. Yeah, dope song. Yeah. And then The Joy with Curtis Mayfield was the last one on the album, which is again another great song.
Good songs.
A classic soul sample. And yeah, just overall, anyone who doesn't like this album, you're deaf.
Anyone who doesn't like this album, why are you lying for?
Why
are you lying for?
It's simple. You're either deaf or you're racist. It's one of the two. So
hot takes.
There's no one on this planet who doesn't like this album. I refuse to believe it.
Okay.
So yeah, have we got anything to add on Watch the Throne?
No.
Nah, I think we've. I don't want to say too much.
Yeah,
I don't want to say too much.
That's fair enough.
Why are you holding back, man?
because it's just the same praise over and over again.
It is, yeah.
It is just the same praise.
Yeah, it is. It's true. Well, we're about to go to YEEZUS,
so yeah, this one I'm gonna take a back seat on because this one is probably before Jesus is King, but it's at the bottom of my Kanye albums. I'm not a big fan of this album. I think it's a great album still, but it's one of my least favorite ones, which is YEEZUS.
Yeah, same, yeah. So, I don't know, but we can't all take a back seat, mate.
Yeah,
how about you?
Yeah. So,
okay, there you go. You can go.
But the one thing it's not one I could talk for hours and hours about, but it's definitely nowhere near the bottom of my list. Not that I've actually considered the bottom of my Kanye list, but when we're talking about how Kanye influences hip hop as a genre in itself, we would not have the Slow Ties, the JPEG Mafias, the Death Grips, if we did not have YEEZUS. Without YEEZUS, no experimental rap, or it might have been there, but we might have been delayed 4 or 5 years. Just
experimental rap even though experimental rap was already there, it would have remained underground.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense.
That's probably the better way of that's a better way of saying it. Because as soon as you start off the album with On Site, you get hit with like, they're not disco phases. They're like weird alien phases just going on in the back of your head.
I hate it.
What's going on?
I mean, this is my argument. This is the only YEEZUS album that isn't a classic. Jesus is the king as well, but this is the only Yeezy album that isn't a classic. I can argue. All the others like to argue for a classic, but
that comes down to mainly differences in tastes, in my opinion, because I love all that Buki shit.
Yeah,
I love all that Buki shit.
I hate it.
So like, when I listen to this, I'm like, what is this? And I hate it and love it at the same time. Like it's when you listen to JPEG Mafia and he's just like screaming. Someone screaming is his beat.
I mean, this album really use synthesizers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he sort of like sort of pushes the boundaries of like, how far can I go until people stop listening to me? And he just proves that like
that's not a good thing. It's not a good
matter
thing.
what he's done, he still makes it sound good.
Yeah, he does.
Because
I don't know. On Site is not a good song.
It's not a good song.
Mate, you're wrong. You're wrong.
But anyway, we'll get onto our favorites and sleepers. My favorite.
You're talking, because when you're talking Kanye albums, you're talking about banging songs. You're talking about New Slaves. You're talking about I Am a God. Black Skinhead's up there as well.
Blood on the Leaves.
Blood on the Leaves.
Not On Site. We're not discussing. No one's discussing On Site. No one's going, oh, have you got that new On Site by Kanye? No one's saying that.
Nobody did that.
No one person on the planet has ever put it on the aux and not heard everyone else in the car tell them to skip. No one's done that except for maybe Kanye because he's got a bunch of yes men around him. But anyway, yeah. So,
but my favorite on the album is New Slaves. Just again, it's all that Buki shit. It's ringing in the ears. It's pound and bass. It's heavy synths, and then it just drops into like, you think it's going to be a mad crescendo, and then like loads of like clashing and loads of loud bangs as the instrumental. But as soon as it hits that crescendo, it just dips.
My grandma.
And it's low-key rap.
In the era when clean water was only served to the fairest skin. It's just dope.
My sleeper from my sleeper from Late Registration, Addiction, where he's sort of like whispering over the beat.
Yeah,
he sort of takes that stance where but he has such a big build up to it and then just drops. I think there's no massive crescendo. It just drops into lo-fi and he's whispering over the beat.
The thing is with New Slaves though, it gets more aggressive and more aggressive as it goes on.
And then it just builds up later on, because if you get to, I think it's at 3 minutes there's a change up. At 3 minutes, there's a change up where it goes sort of from experimental to like very gospel-y. I don't know how to explain it, but it goes from experimental music. I've just got it in my headphones right now. At 3 minutes on the dot, it goes from experimental to like soul samples.
Right.
Just the experimental fades out, switches to a soul sample, and it's very similar to. Very similar.
I don't remember it. I think it sounds like a Pusha T sample. Pusha T beat.
It's very simple, similar to the orchestral bits on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy in this change up, and that's like why it's my favorite, because it shows it's one of the ones where it's could easily be 3 different songs, 3 different minute and a half long songs, but instead it's 1 4-minute song, which is just incredible.
Great song.
Then my sleeper is my heavyweight champion walkout song. It is I Am a God.
Okay.
I am a God. Hurry up with my damn massage.
Yeah.
And that's just, again, all the Buki shit. Heavy basses and synths. Some 808 in the background.
Sorry, I have to listen to
some like weird Zulu screams in the back as like. I can't do it because I just make a
Wow.
tip myself on the internet.
Outlandish Kanye at its height, man.
Yeah,
You could say it, I think.
that will
Which
always,
is,
sorry.
like I said, I love all that outlandish shit, and this is just Yeezy
Yeah.
doing outlandish shit
And it
to see
reminds me
how
of the-
much he can get away with.
It reminds me of the Zane Lowe interview all the time when it's like, I just told you what I am. I'm a god. Yeah, sorry, I have to go. I muted my mic there because I had to go listen to that New Slave sample, and it's the one was like,
yeah. I was doing rubbish.
Yeah, so yeah, New Slaves for me is anyway my favorite on the album, and my sleeper is Hold My Liquor.
Hold My Liquor is a banger as well.
Yeah,
I don't like it that much.
because also it reminds me of the TikToks that people make now. Just memeing it. I don't know. I just think it's a bit of a banger, but again, it's a sleeper because it's not a big banger compared to like Bound to, Black Skinhead, Blood and Lees, New Slaves. Yeah, and the other sleeper, which is Luke's favorite, which we were doing this nice triangular way. So
that quite nice.
My other sleeper, which is Luke's favorite, I didn't want to put it in because it's got Assassin's verse in it, which is obviously dancehall and ragga and whatever. And people might look at me and say, "You can't understand what he's saying." But I can a little bit, so shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I can understand enough.
So I'm in it with, and I remember listening to this with my mate Cams, shout out Cams, who's we used to listen to it in our electronics class, and my mate Cams is half Jamaican. And obviously used to listen to like try and introduce me to like Movado and Vibes Cartel and everything. And then he played me this verse, and I remember when I first listened to it, I was probably about 15, and I was like, I don't understand what the fuck he's saying. Like, how can I like this? And I can't understand. But as time goes on and you listen to it a little bit more and you start understanding the influences, and you learn to appreciate it. But yeah, because Luke's family comes from the Caribbean, he can go into
they're not listening to dancehall. None of that influences come from
none of your family listen to dancehall?
No, all my music influences are like Bruce Springsteen from my dad, or like Stevie Wonder, etc. from my mum. But that kind of dancehall stuff's come from.
I'm assuming you can understand it though. You can understand dancehall.
Little bit.
Yeah.
It just sounds sick. I really like it. I've done some, like, from when I first listened to it, I've done some more deep dives into dancehall, and I can't understand all of it, but I can understand enough to kind of get the gist, and it also sounds sick.
Yeah.
And that's fed back into this verse where he just goes unbelievably hard over, I don't know what kind of beat it is, but it's just a jump up kind of.
It's crazy. It's just craziness.
Yeah.
It's just madness. Yeah. It's just madness. He just goes unbelievably hard, and I really enjoy it.
And I think especially when you listen to a lot of dancehall as well, it's obviously so like pop, like almost like not pop sounding, but like the Afro, like it's almost like dancehall and Afrobeat. They kind of got a kind of similar vibe to an extent, especially when they've been blended to help influence the UK sound. But the weird thing about listening to dancehall is obviously like it sounds like so uplifting and nice, but then when you hear the stories behind it and how fucking gully they are, like, you start reading into Gully versus Gaza and Movado versus Vibes Cartel over in America, and the fact that Vibes Cartel is in prison for murder and all this kind of stuff. It's like it sounds so nice, and then you realize how like how fucked it can get over in Jamaica.
Definitely.
So yeah, it's anyone who doesn't listen to dancehall, and it's very interesting if you want to go listen to it, and it's influenced so much UK sound you would not even believe.
Stupid amount, yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, I always put like dancehall and like Afrobeat into kind of the same category. I know that might be uncultured of me, but
it is uncultured, mate.
So I don't know. It's just for me. They sound quite similar, but yeah. What's your sleeper for the album, Luke?
Sleeper is Blood on the Leaves, and I don't even know if that's a sleeper, but it doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah,
the lyrics are super deep. The Nina Simone their sample is just hits.
Yeah.
And I think it doesn't get the respect it deserves. It's a sick song.
Yeah, for me, that song has special significance to me because I had a bunch of friends who used to love it, and every single school house party we used to go to that got played, and everyone would just lose their shit.
Yeah, I think it used to get played at parties, but yeah, it's not. It's a bit like that's about lynching, man. Come on.
I mean, a bunch of white people go ape shit to a song about lynching, but you know what I mean.
It wasn't that fun, man.
Yeah, now you make me feel really bad. It used to be a banger, but now wait, can't be about lynching. He's talking about running through the pot of running through the
blood on the leaves, strange fruit from the blossom tree.
Oh yeah, but his verse itself isn't about lynching. It's about Molly and running through the lobby.
Okay, yeah, fair. But the end of the song is about lynching.
Can we just move away from the lynching?
Right. So point is. YEEZUS is the most experimental Kanye had been, and without Kanye West, we would not have JPEG Mafia in such a large spotlight that he is, and he would not have been able to like source the producers. And JPEG Mafia, in my opinion, has one of the best 3-track runs of the 2010s, 3 album runs of the 2010s. Sorry, with
hot take.
It is a hot take.
No, it's not. It's not hot.
It is.
It's warm. It's lukewarm. It's lukewarm.
Yeah, okay.
But with Black Ben Carson, then Veteran, then All My Heroes Are Cornballs, that's for me one of the best 3 album runs of the 2010s, and that wouldn't have happened without YEEZUS. Or if it did, it wouldn't have been as in the spotlight.
By the way, I want you to be wrong for some reason, but I can't think of a reason why you're wrong.
But I'm not.
Wait, hang on. You're saying he had the best 3 album run?
One of the best.
So over people like Kanye, over Kanye, J. Cole, Jay had a 3 album run. You saying JPEG Mafia?
He's going to say it with chest. He's saying it with chest.
Whoa. I don't know.
You got to remember
ASAP Rocky. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. No. I love Peggy. I do love Peggy, but
Peggy's up there, mate. Peggy, you put more respect on Peggy's name.
100%. Respect. But I don't
put more respect on Peggy's name.
I don't.
Damn, Peggy.
Do that. Damn, Peggy.
Nah, but I tell you what, everyone has to listen to. Rather than listen to JPEG Mafia's album, go listen to A Song with Flume if you want an introduction to JPEG Mafia, because that's such a good song.
That's so weird.
Because that was my introduction to JPEG Mafia. That song with Flume. And yeah, it's dope as fuck.
Is it off the Flume mixtape? This is Flume. Hi, my name is Flume.
Yeah, my name is Flume, whatever it is. Yeah. With a weird ass out my. We'll talk about Flume on another one probably. But yeah, like fucking YEEZUS. I think YEEZUS flopped.
Yeah,
it didn't do as commercially well, but that was always going to happen when he went with that kind of sound.
We probably shouldn't have ended on it, to be honest.
Yeah, because it's such a negative vibe. Because, like I said, I like this album, but I don't like this album at the same time.
I wish it was better.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't like it is. I wish he went on there and pretty much changed every song on there, but
yeah,
so it's not a classic album. I don't care. It's not, in my opinion, it's not a classic album. It's a good album. It's not a bad album, but I'm not going to sit there and listen to it over and over. The same as Jesus is King. Jesus King isn't a bad album, but it's not a classic. He somewhat missed on it, I will say.
I agree.
Yeah. Fo completely disagrees.
I wouldn't say it's a miss. I wouldn't say it's the best album by any means.
He hit the post on it.
I'd say what it is So
It was Frank Lampard.
It's hit the crossbar, bounced in, gone out, and there's no goal line technology.
Frank Lampard's Germany.
Yeah, Frank Lampard in the World Cup.
Yeah, that's it. Pablo Mendes. Where's Pablo Mendes? Tottenham?
No, what he's done is the fucking Milan Baros Liverpool goal where they said it's gone in, but it hasn't. So
Luis Garcia, mate. Luis
Garcia, that's it. Yeah, so people don't think he's missed, but he actually has missed. That's what it is. There's an illusion that he hasn't missed, but he has.
I don't know. I don't think he has.
You're buying the lie for us, man.
I don't think he has. I think
I think that might be harsh. I don't know. It's indifferent. It's caused a lot of indifference.
I think what it is the goal. The goal's not big enough. The goal needs to be bigger.
The goal does need to be bigger. I like that. Yeah. People need to expand.
These goals aren't regulation.
Okay.
Unless anyone can tell, it's getting late now and we're getting tired, so we're just talking shit, really. Yeah, so I think it's time we wrap up the second segment. When we go to the third segment, we will be wearing different clothes because we're going to do a second shooting session to discuss it when we're more fresh. Hopefully everyone enjoyed that. And the third segment will probably be out. We'll probably be watching this one on a Thursday, and the next segment will be out on a Saturday. So yeah, I hope you enjoy us rambling, talking shit. Anything you two want to say before we go?
I really enjoyed this one. A bit more free flowing than the other one, a bit loosey goosey. Don't know whether it would sound good to the listeners, but yeah, I really enjoyed it.
It's more fun for us, and this is a topic we're gonna be a bit more free flowing with it. We're gonna have things like the rising forward Chance the Rapper, the journey of Tyler the Creator, all these kind of stories that all these like focusing on one artist that we all know a lot about, so we can have a more free flowing conversation. But obviously, if you are a guest and you make music or whatever, and you've got a cool story, just hit us up on socials, which are in the description. And of course, you can come on like Cal did. We appreciate it greatly.
Shout out Cal. Shout out Cal.
Shout out everyone listening. Hope you've enjoyed. Don't write off YEEZUS just because it sounds booky. That's all I'm going to say.
It missed. Goodbye.